Good night, fellow punchers. The clock on the wall says 2-1-2-1 on whatever night of the week it is, with a few for tomorrow. Watching a power of videos and stuff the last while and reading. It's interesting though, when you get in on it. We had an interesting day as well today. We had jockey problems again. Imperial Alex, I thought that was going to win today. I said to a fella, I said today he had a tip for a horse, and I said double it with this one. I said I think this one is going to win, and I forgot to check back. He made a mistake on the first circuit, and was it at the same fence that he made the mistake 2 out? I'm not sure, but the last day the race was nearly 3-2. Today it was less than 3 miles, and he was absolutely ramping at the 3 mile stage the last day. He should have pushed him up. He gave free rein to a 33-1 shot who wasn't afraid he had nothing to lose, and pinged the last one then, and he couldn't make up the ground. But definitely the best horse. But I'd say Tom Lacey threw a few fucks into him, because didn't they pull off a double after that then? And he was out in front, and he made no mistakes on the other two. It's unreal. It's like if they were watching at night and saying, we won't give them a pocket full on this one, we'll do our own stuff. And then we were well, I don't know what happened. Well, I've seen what happened, but I think we might have caught that horse. We were absolutely flying on Tritonic when So Icon fell at the last, because he made up so much ground, but he drifted out. Now we were lucky, because I said, and I was going to put up favourite last night. I said no, I've picked the name of the horse now, Tritonic, because I was saying the favourite had won 4 of the last 5 years, and that's why I was picking Tritonic last night. So we were lucky there, and then the big weight, I think, stopped the other one, and in the last one, and it was the first time we've tipped Venetia in a while. But anyway, we would have finished ahead with a 4-1 winner with the few bets. So that's what it's all about. If we're winning, we're not losing. We'll go on to tomorrow. We'll start at Fundalk, because this is the way I've lined them up on top here in front of me. Normally do finish up with Fundalk at the end, but it's because I do have it set at the end. But there's a very interesting horse here. Well, of course, they're all interesting. But Spinning Web for Mags Mullins, Niall McCullough riding. It's only a 3-year-old. But if you look at this one's for him, 3 maidens, including one at Dundalk, beaten 31 lengths to 17 1/4 and 21. Got a basement rating of 47. Ran in a handicap, beaten 12 lengths. Then, I think it was 33s into 16s. Won a maiden hurdle in Tipperary. That was some improvement, won by half a length. Then ran it on the flat in Sligo. Went off 3-1 favourite. Second to Chick Linda, who was rated 51, I think, at the time. A nicely handicapped horse. Back over hurdles, 2 good runs over hurdles. One of them there to that Woodoo, that Numberberg was disqualified in that. But the last head in, it was a mile 6 in Navan, and 'twas gambled on. 'Twas 11s into 3s. They know it's a well handicapped horse. It's in the green and yellow. It's in 3rd place.
Inside the final 1.5, and it's Jazzy Rock. Jazzy Rock and Declan McDonough hits the front by a couple to Molly Hall. Then comes Spinning Web beginning to roll home. Vice Regent Gardoni, Global Export Rain, Sue Grip Marvel Fan. Then comes Big's Belief Lady Crispa inside the final furlong, and now tackling Jazzy Rock is Vice Regent. Jazzy Rock the far side in the blue and red. The blue and white of Vice Regent, and Vice Regent by a head to Jazzy Rock. Jazzy Rock battling back, but Vice Regent by a head now and neck. Vice Regent, Jazzy Rock. Then comes Global Export and Rain flashing home and Spinning Web.
Finished 5th in that, but the fact that it won its or the hurdle race on good ground. I think the 1.5 will suit this tomorrow night. It's the last race of the night. 7-2, 4-1 there in one spot. It's up against our clever currency, but that's 6. There should be more improvement in this. Pop it out there and bring it home. We'll move on then. We have 3. We have the usual 3. I do my homework. I started off a couple of days in advance. 2 days. I'll be starting off Saturdays now when I finish. Saturdays and Sundays. What am I on about? Sunday. Today's Thursday. I'm getting mixed up. But I had about 8 or 9 shortlisted, but some of them are gone odds on and very short, so I left them. So came with 3 here, and Your Darling won this race last year. Goes well fresh. Seems to like Ascot. So the bigger prize earlier. I think it opened up 9-2. But it won this race last year. It won in Huntington the year before, of 119. But if you remember this race last year, because we took Revel's Hill out of it, I remember, because this one won so well.
Your Darling head down to the final 2 plain fences with a commanding advantage. Your Darling 2 out, over it safely. Janica 10 lengths behind in second. Revel's Hill has moved into third. Then Phlegmatic in company with Do Your Job. But this is a long lead for Your Darling as they come towards the final fence now. Up and over safely, and he's going to be everybody's darling here because he's won by miles. Phlegmatic has moved into second position late on, but Your Darling has strode away with the Royal Ascot Racing Club handicap chase, and he's eased down to win in style. Second will be very...
Didn't do much after that. Seems to go well fresh. 5th behind. It actually come over to Galway then in August there. There's a couple of interesting ones, of course, in it as well. You have one that goes well fresh too for Venetia, Fire Dancer, owned by Ricci, the Frenchman. But I'm going to stick with Your Darling. The 150 at Caterick, Geromino. We've seen this running on a clip that I done last week. Home Public that won the race that when JPR1 fell. This has been up against decent horses there, Cedar Hill and El Barraco, but it has won a 2.5 mile before. It won in Bangor off 129 going back last July. So the good to soft, good in places ground that I see for tomorrow there should be suitable. It goes well on the good ground. It's a tidy little jumper and it's carrying top weight, but that's it in the yellow here on the right hand side.
Go off chasing Geromino as they come to the third last. Those two were separated by a length. Geromino from En Public held together in second place, now draws alongside. Second last fence now, En Public this side, jumps to the front narrowly from Geromino. Slane Lock further back together with Cracking Destiny, and now they race on down towards the final fence. Narrow lead for En Public. En Public awkward over that. Half a length away is Geromino on the far side rail. En Public now drawing on by a length and a half. En Public and Henry Brook go on to score. From in second place, Geromino.
I was calling it Geromino. He's calling it Geromino. Tomato. There's a couple of that Arthur's Key won in Cartmel. It beat Arthur's Ambition. Getaway Love. that is good enough for him, the Geromino, and the good round should be good. And it's carrying 12 stone, but it carried 11.9 the last day. Ascot as well. Tomorrow, I'm just mentioning this race. We have a horse that we won before on Unanswered Prayers. And he was going well into second place the last day when it fell. In a better class race than this. We were in a 2.5 mile when it strayed and we went out in front that day. But if you forgive him this fall, this was a good class race. You have 2 for Gold and Eldorado Allen.
2 for
Gold.
Go past a long-time leader, Eldorado Allen. 2 lengths away, Unanswered Prayers is behind these. Zaguli comes next, and then the purple sleeve jacket of Mucho Maz. Victorino and Charlie Deutsch have taken the lead in the Sodexo Live Gold Cup. 2 fences to jump, Victorino over that. 2 in second place, 2 for Gold. Unanswered Prayers behind these. Yeah, man, staying on. Eldorado Allen is next. They move to the last. Victorino has 4 lengths to spare. Yeah, man is after him though. Victorino down at the last there was Yeah, man, and also Unanswered Prayers.
That was a Premier handicap. It was a Class 1 race, and he was running on nicely. You have Man of the People in that this race as well, and you have T Clipper. You could go what do you call it? Unanswered Prayers. There's a good each way price there. 6s and 7s. It's an open race, but this is a Class 3, whereas that was a Class 1. In Chepstow tomorrow, the favourite is Mr. Grey Sky. He won first time out for Kim Bailey the last day, but he was dodgy at a couple of jumps, I thought. He went up £5 for it. He's 5-4 favourite. But I'm taking him on with Liberty Hunter for Evan Williams. He's been lucky enough to us a few times. But this has solid for him all along. It won a bumper, won 2 bumpers for Brian Eckley, and it was sold for, I think it was 165,000. Then it was behind Top Dog, American Sniper, Knowlesy Road. I bet Crebilly in a novice hurdle, and it was in Chepstow. He has ran well in Chepstow. He has 2 wins and 2 places. This was against Crebilly, and Crebilly is no slouch. And it was heavy ground here. So he has 2 wins and 2 places in
second, and
that's him out in front.
The final flight of hurdles. They're 8 lengths ahead of Hurler on the ditch, but Liberty Hunter with the lead, still going pretty well out in front, comes towards the last from Crebilly. At the last, Liberty Hunter over safely. Crebilly is staying on well for pressure, but Liberty Hunter is just being pushed out towards the line, hands and heels, and will get off the mark over hurdles in good style. Goes on to win.
So he's carrying a big weight tomorrow, but he likes that track. Behind JPR1, I'd forgive him that. It was on good to soft. This is heavy ground tomorrow as well. 12 to Adam Wedge. Let's see. Or that was that one, wasn't it? What's happening here? Get rid of this. In Fairyhouse tomorrow, someone texted me they were going to Fairyhouse. There's a horse there that I tipped up a few weeks ago at Reserve Judgement. Now this is a real dodgy race because it's a qualified riders and there's some of the names I never heard of before. Reserve Judgement, and he was going well the last day in Down Royal when he capsized. So I forgot to look at the fall again. He was behind that Hunting Brook. And Hunting Brook has won a couple of since. Won that time, one since. But on the run in Sligo at 2.5 mile, he was closing steady at the finish. And I was saying the step up and trip at suit. So I don't know about, where was he, the jockeys for him? Buckley. The last 14 days. Oh, all time. 5 rides all time and he's one place. The place was for John McConnell. Anyway, I'm rattling on a bit. That's about it for tonight. A shout out to Richie Lawrence. He's new on the bus recently. Andrew Cunliffe, a newcomer on the bus, and Elliot Mullen asked to give a shout out to his buddy John Paul O'Donnell. I'll give a shout out to the two of you. That's Elliot Mullen and John Paul O'Donnell. Would John Paul O'Donnell be a late 70s kid? There was a last round here when the Pope came to Ireland, Pope John Paul. There were in 1979. There was any baby. There was a scatter of babies that year called John Paul's. That was the first that came to mind when I seen that. Anyway, bash the bookies, over and out.